Hello, my name is Michelle, and I am the owner of Sophia's Whimsical Molds. Pretty much, I've been afraid to do a video, but here I am. I'm finally getting the courage to do it, and why not? Okay, so this video is to show you how to create your own STL files for car freshies. Um, this is for mold housings, not the actual Freshie yet, okay? So I actually learned from Lena on YouTube. She was amazing. She helped a lot. I would really encourage you to also check out her videos. But I'm pretty much adding some steps that I do to create my own. Okay, so if you don't own Silhouette Studio, I definitely recommend it. I actually have the Silhouette Studio Business Edition. That one has more options, more things that you can work with, especially the creating SVG files, etc. So this is a way that I was taught to do it. If you like, you can do it this way, or I mean, I've been teaching myself many other forms to create files, but this is the first one that I've learned through, and I just want to share and pretty much help you learn. So if you want to get the business edition, I will recommend going to swingdesign.com, and under their silhouette, I would look for the businesses, business edition. And I would recommend paying the $39.99 instead of actually going through the silhouette. You still use the same program, but just less. Like I said, I don't represent or am endorsing swing design. I don't get commission or anything, so I'm just letting you know that I use this. But okay, let's start. So open Silhouette Studio Business Edition. Okay, we're going to start with, let's go ahead and do this Q Highland with bow smiling. Two. I have another design already created, so we'll do this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder where I'm going to add all the items on this. So Q Highland. So I'm going to open it. I'm going to create new SVG folder, new folder STL, new folder original picture or original PNG, new mold housing. Okay, so I'm just gonna drag the original, just gonna delete it from my desktop. Okay, so open Silhouette Studio. We're gonna go ahead and click File, Open, and you're gonna go into where you have the original picture. I like to use PNGs. So the cute Highland with bow. You're going to click on that folder. Here it is. So click on the original PNG and it's going to start loading. Sometimes Silhouette Studio takes a little bit to load up. So as you can see, and there you go. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to zoom out. And here is the design. So this one is particularly easy. So I'm just going to click on it, Object, Modify, Detach Lines. And it's processing. Takes a little bit. Okay, there you go. So I'm just going to drag this out. I'm going to click on the original and I'm just going to delete it. So this one, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the upper left corner and I'm just going to change the color. That's just my preference. So as you can tell, It's pink. It's light pink. So we're going to go onto the right hand and open the offset panel. It's a star with another star inside of it. We're going to go ahead and click offset. Again, it takes a little bit to load. Sometimes silhouette takes a really good time. Okay, so right now it is set at 0.220. I am going to lower it down to 200. Let's see. I just like to see what I want to work with. And this is also to help thicken your lines. And I think I'm going to go down to 100 and apply. And it's just loading. Takes a little bit. Okay. I want to work with that. So I'm going to get apply. And then you're going to get this. So you're just going to drag the first design. You're going to click on it and delete. And you're going to highlight this. Okay. Again, on the right side, you are going to select Open the Modify panel. It's a square and a circle. So you're going to hit Make. And you see how all of it is together. You want that because if you would have dragged the previous, all of the shapes were going to be missing. So you're just going to go ahead. Well, I changed the color again to pink. And now we're going to size it. This is pretty much the size of your Freshie design, the inner part, which is the lines. So I like to do 4.2 inches in height. I'm going to zoom in to the design. Okay, so you see it's 4.2 inches in height and then 3.885 inches in width. I like those numbers. It's all up to you if you want to size it differently, you want it bigger, smaller, literally preferences. So we're going to go ahead and hit File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive, and then go back to the folders. And under the SVG folder, go ahead and click. Make sure that under the Save As type, you change it to SVG. And I like to keep the file name as Cute Highland with Bow Smiling 2 dash details. Sorry, just like Lena does. You don't have to do it that way, but again, preferences, it's easier for me. So I'll hit OK. So now we have this saved as the SVG. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. So now we're going to go ahead and go back to the right side, open the offset panel, and click offset. So I like to change this to 0.115 and hit enter. This is going to be the outline on your Freshie, pretty much on the design. I like it like this. You can make it different, preference, all up to you. I hit apply. I select the previous design, click on it, delete. On the offset slash outline, you're going to right click, release compound path, right click again, weld. You have to make sure that you do that step. If not, those were going to appear on your 3D print and cause issues. So I like to change the color, preference, up to you. Then I'm going to hit File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive, change the Save As type to SVG, and then hit or type, whatever, outline, and save. Okay? This is going to be without a tab. Then I can teach you how to add a tab. So we're going to go back and do offset again. This time you're going to type in 22, enter, apply, select the previous, and delete. Here, I'm going to change the color again, and here's that. This is going to be your mold, which is the bottom piece and your walls to your Freshie. So I'm just going to hit Files, Save As, Save to Hard Drive, change to SVG, and then type in mold and save. Okay? So after this, you are done and you're ready for TinkerCAD. But since I said I can teach you how to do the tabs, we're going to go ahead and do the tabs. So you're going to do the two other previous steps the same way as this one, plus this one. But for the mold, before you save it, you are going to go to the left side and select the shape that you want to add your tab as. I normally do a rounded rectangle, so I click on it and I drag. And before I continue the steps, I go back to the left and click select, because if you don't do that, you're going to continue to drag rounded rectangles. So this is just for me. I go ahead and pick my color, the same one as the mold, and I'm going to drag this into my design. So you can do the tab however you want. You want to make it smaller, like that, bigger, however you want. So we're going to select all of it, pretty much just drag the square like that. Right click, weld. Okay, you're going to hit File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive. Again, change the save type to SVG, and then name mold. Since we did the previous, it's going to show right there. So you're just going to go ahead and hit enter. You're going to have this warning, which is fine because you already had it. But if you're just doing it from the beginning, you wouldn't. So I'm going to hit yes. Here, you're going to hit undo. Okay. You're going to go to the right and you're going to hit open the modify panel. You're going to hit divide. Okay. On the right, you're going to go, sorry, on the left, you're going to hit File, Merge, and select Outline. And there it is. So you're going to click it and drag. I like to drag and then go on the upper alignment. And I like to make sure that it's aligned centerly. You want to make sure, because when you're creating your mold, or like let's say your mold housing, this has to be centered. So select the mold part, which is your previous, and delete. And then here, you're going to select this piece, delete. And you're going to be left with the tab. Now you're going to drag, right click, weld. And that's how it's supposed to look. You're going to go to File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive, change it to SVG, and then you're going to rename it to Outline. It's going to give you that. Hit yes, and there you go. You have your mold with a tab. So we're going to minimize this. We are going to go and open TinkerCAD. Okay? You're going to hit create, 3D design. Okay. So with TinkerCAD, it will have a funky name on the top. On the upper left, I like to change that name right away. So I'm changing it to Cute Highland with Bow Smiling too. And under settings, I like to uncheck the show grid. But if you need the units, scales, presets, this is pretty much how I have it. And then close settings. Under import, click import, choose a file, Then we're going to look for the folder, which is the cute Highland with both smiling too. Click on that. SVG. I'm going to start off with the mold, okay? You don't have to start off with like this, but I do because that's how I learn and that's how Lena taught me. So I just like to follow that. It's just the way my brain works. So hit import and it's gonna load like that. So I like to change the color. You don't have to, but I just do it because I like it. So quality, I do either 14 or 15, it doesn't matter. The height, 0.099. You don't have to make it thick because it's, in the end of the day, it's silicone, right? So here's that. We're going to go onto the upper left and click duplicate and repeat. On fill mode, you're going to select outer line. I'm going to change the color, again, preference. On line width, you're going to change that to 0.099. Okay? I like to do corners round. You don't have to, that's just preference. And then on height, you're going to change it to 1.3. And that's that. So that's your mold floor and the walls. So that's pretty much what you did in Silhouette as the mold file. Now we're going to go to import, choose file, and select outline, import. And then it should import automatically centered. So you're going to click on that. I like to change the quality to 14 or 15. And then the height, you're going to change it to 1. Or you can experiment however you want. If you want the walls thicker, that's up to you. I find that this size works best for me and for people who have bought my STL files. I haven't had any complaints. So whatever works. So we're going to go back to import, choose file. Now we're going to click details and hit import. Sometimes TinkerCAD takes a while to import your details, just depending on the file, how much detail it has. So you're just going to be seeing this, importing cute Highland with both smiling 2 details. So it can take a little bit. Honestly, TinkerCAD is really good for beginners like me. I'm still learning. I'm still learning other programs, so this is literally just showing you easier steps on easier molds. Um, so we're here waiting. As I wait, I like to get the text and drag it in. Oh, it finished. So it'll just let you know, but let me just finish this. This is just for my mold housings that I add. It's like my signature thing. So we're just gonna drag that. Okay. So on your mouse, you're going to right click and drag down. So your details get imported on the bottom. So you want to make sure that you click on the details, which is this blue color. So I'm going to hit or click on the right hand, again, the right clicker, and drag up. So you're going to select cruise, which is this magnet on top, and you're going to select this dot on top, which makes your details come up. Again, I'm going to change the color because that's just how I like to do it. And under quality, I just changed it to 20 because that's just how I like it. On height, I like to do 0.089. And that's just my preference. It's up to you. That's pretty much the height that you get, or maybe simpler term, indentation in your silicone mold with your details. So pretty much how thick it'll come out with the details where you paint and stuff. So here's the frustration that I get with TinkerCAD. It takes forever to load the nodes down to how I want it. So let's see. Just playing around with it. Okay. So it is taking a little bit. Um, Excuse me. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. You can contact me via email, um, pretty much through Colts 3D. I like to sell my files there. And okay, this is taking forever. So I'm just gonna click back to TinkerCAD dashboard. Been having a lot of issues. So I'm just gonna exit out of TinkerCAD. Okay. So I'm gonna reopen it. Click on this again. Tinker this. So it's just loading. Let's see if it loads. While we wait on SnapGrid, right now it's 1/8 inches. I like to change it to 132 inches sometimes, just to kind of like make sure that all of this is centered, like the details, if it loads, just to make sure that the outline is even on my design. Okay, I'm having issues again. Oh, okay, let's try this again. Sorry, guess it was a bad day to record on how to do this for me. Not sure if it's my Wi-Fi again or it's just TinkerCAD, but I've been having issues since last night. Yep, it's not loading. Great. Okay, so that's a fail. Let's. I keep closing it like it's gonna do something. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Sorry. Um, I don't know if TinkerCAD is down. You see, it's just. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, finally. There it is. So, like I said, I'm going to change this to 132 inches. I'm going to select the details, and I'm just going to make sure that it's portioned correctly. Okay. So, the next step that I like to do is hit send to, and this is going to be the picture of my mold housing, and I download, and I save it to the file that I have. Okay, so the next thing is you drag and then select Union Group. And it's going to group all of this together to create the STL file. But since I'm having issues with TinkerCAD, it might take a while longer. So then you hit Export and make sure that everything in the design, and then hit STL. And it's going to prepare for export. Like I said, not sure if TinkerCAD would do right now since it's a bit slow. I'm having issues, so we're waiting. Okay, it's not doing much. Okay, so we're having problems exporting. Okay, I'll just show you the first one that I had done. So this is the first one, and the STL file will open in whatever slicer program you're using. I use Cura, so I'm just going to hit on that, and then it's going to open through Cura. And this is just the other one I have. Okay, so here's the other design in Cura, and then see it's just failing everything. Um, and then of course you just hit slice, and it'll just like show you how long, gives you previews. I normally do 10% infill. I don't do too much infill on these since I'm just gonna do silicone molds, and it gives me an error. Okay, just we're not gonna worry about it, I guess, right now. But that's pretty much how you export the STL file. And you don't need any supports for this, or any build plate adhesions if you want. I just do a skirt. Um, and then C10 hours, just depends. I have a artillery Sidewinder X2 and an artillery Sidewinder X4 3D printer. I know a lot of people use Bamboo Labs. Whatever 3D printer you have, it'll still print the same, honestly. I love my artilleries. I don't have a problem with them. So yeah, that's my process. If you have, like I said, any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out.